Today is going to be a particularly interesting video because we are doing a sea trial on something rather special. This is Red Jet 7. It is a 40 metre, 40 knot passenger catamaran. It runs between Southampton and the Isle of Wight, and we've been invited along on the bridge to see the operation of this vessel, and I think that's going to be pretty spectacular. So yeah, hope you enjoy this one. They're just loading up passengers at the minute and we are leaving in 4 minutes. So we are 1 minute to sailing. We've got the barriers closing in just a moment. There we go. And we are good to go. Let's go on the bridge and see what's going on. This is John, he's Chief Officer. He is helming today. Hello, John. And we've also got the captain, who is Fabio, who's not here at the minute, but will be very shortly, I think, since we're sailing. The interesting thing about these is that they are joystick controlled. So where his hand is, it's on a joystick that is controlling all 4 engines and all 4 jets simultaneously in a system not dissimilar to IPS. You push it to the side, the ship goes to the side. You push it forward, the ship goes forward. So this is a wing station here. That's for manoeuvring. We've got the main helm then just over here. So that's where we will be when we're out and running.
All clear forward, and don't forget to head off the water, please. Okay.
So you can see a little bit of control on the joystick there, and the ship is literally powering sideways away from the dock.
Hi guys, 7 hands, 55, 55, and 3, thank you. 55, thank you.
Now we have with us Fabio, he's the captain. He's over on that side doing important things. And we've also got Paul here. Now Paul is my minder. He's come basically just to talk us through what's going on. He is a captain on one of these, but he is today just looking after me and helping us with the filming. So what are we doing, Paul?
This is the regular passenger service from Southampton to West Cowes. This is the 15:35 departure. So this is 2 boats back in service now for the commuter run right through to 7:30. Then 1 boat runs through the night. So this is departure from Southampton. This is Town Key Marina. So I have to keep things quite slow in here. In a minute John will turn us around. We'll leave Southampton, out through the speed limit, accelerate up to cruise speed, down to Cowes in something like 25 to 28 minutes.
And how far is that?
Just over 10 miles, berth to berth.
Yep.
Speed restrictions here in Southampton, and speed restrictions in Cowes again of 6 knots.
Yep.
So the actual at speed bit is about 18 minutes in total.
Fantastic.
So any minute now you see John's change controls across.
Yep.
He'll turn us around and we'll start our passage down to Cowes.
Fantastic. Yeah, well, that is where we were. That's one of the other Red Jet ferries there. And we are currently pivoting on the spot. We're literally not going forward or backward. We are just rotating. The manoeuvrability on these things is insane. So if you have a look, you can see the controls here. So basically the 2 controls on the right hand side are controlling the engines in each hull. So the starboard control is controlling the starboard hull, and the port control is controlling the port hull. So that was in the stern, it's now gone into forward. Both are now running forward. We are away. And the left hand is actually steering the buckets. There's no wheel on these. It's all joystick steering. There you go. And I can hear a passenger announcement happening downstairs. It's just a safety announcement. And we're rolling. That is smooth. So the interesting thing is going to be the speed, which is here, and which is climbing fast. That's 18 knots. 20. These are the RPMs on the engines, 4 engines. 26, 27. It is a properly fast machine, this. 30. And that's it, we're up to cruise speed. Cruise speed is around 33 to 35 knots. We're doing 34.5 at the minute, and that's the view out of the front, across the bow. What's amazing about this is there's virtually no sensation of speed whatsoever. You can you can hear it just gently, but it's super smooth. It is just incredible. It feels like we're doing 6 knots. We're not. We're doing, as I think we just saw, almost 35 knots. I think until you see this, you can't really get an impression of just how fast we're going. Okay, the first thing that hits you is the wind for a start. But look at that! What you're looking at there is 5,000 horsepower out of 4 MTU engines through 4 Hamilton water jets, and that is the net result. 400 gross tons, 40 metres, and this will pull 40 knots flat out. So we're doing about 35 at the minute. This is the cruise operating speed. That is properly fast. Right, back into the warm, I think.
Let's do it.
Thank you very much. So Paul, it looks like we're into a fairly quiet day today, but what are the challenges for you guys? Because I would think operating a ship like this in a location like this must come with its challenges.
Traffic.
Yeah?
Leisure traffic, so Solent is the centre of the UK boating. It gets very, very busy.
Right.
Whether it's a weekend, just a busy Saturday, or around the island race like we had last weekend.
Yeah.
Cows Week's coming up soon. All these events bring thousands and thousands of boats to the Solent, and it's a challenge. We have the deep water channels in Southampton, they have the private boating areas, but we do intermingle a lot, and here we are doing 34.5 knots down the Solent on a very quiet day, but traffic is our challenge. Weather as well.
Yeah.
We're classed as coastal waters, but it still brings our challenges. Wind against tide can be a problem. The Solent has a very unique tidal range. We get 2 high waters every cycle.
Oh, right.
Due to the location of the Isle of Wight, throwing water under the Isle of Wight and back up through Portsmouth, which then gives us a very, very strong ebb tide. So the tidal race through the Solent can be up to sort of 3 to 4 knots at the strongest point. Couple in that with a bit of wind, private boats, commercial craft, plus also the big ships. Southampton's probably the busiest cruise port in this country. 5 or 6 cruise ships on a busy day, plus the tankers, which is about to go past Ferry refinery, full of oil tankers, container ships, a couple all at in with us and the private traffic. It makes for a very busy day.
You've got to keep your wits about you.
You do. It's the main reason why at the minute, so you've got 2 navigators up here at all times, because there is just so much to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
You need the 2 navigators, 2 radars, 2 ectis, 2 of everything to get us down and back safely.
Fantastic.
She'll come up, depending on traffic, probably our port side, so doing 35 knots the other way.
Right.
So 70 knot closure.
Wow. We've basically just spotted Red Jet 6 coming the other way, which is one of the other ships in the fleet, and he's doing the return route to the one that we're doing. We can just see him in the distance. I don't know whether you'll be able to pick it up on the camera, but probably not. Let's go over here a little bit. It's just out there. We'll see her in a minute, a bit clearer. We are out in the Solent now, I think, aren't we? We're
Yeah,
actually
central
out-
Solent.
Yep. So this is kind of, I guess, the sort of the choppier bit, as it were. Well, it's not today. It's pretty comfortable.
Today is lovely. Very much can be. This is where you get wind and tide against
Right.
each other. Can
Yeah.
be particularly lumpy.
Uh-huh.
Obviously that's lumpy in coastal water terms. That's not deep sea road waves, but
No.
you can get a good few metres of swell running through here, which, you know, at these sorts of speeds are very noticeable.
Yeah.
It's definitely the days where you don't get the private sailors and motorboats out. They'll touch up in the marina, and quite rightfully so.
Yeah. So what's your sort of limits in terms of operation?
So we run with a 2 metre wave height limit.
Okay.
That's imposed by the governing body, the MCA.
Yeah.
As the waves go up, our speed reduces. So right now we're at 34.5 knots on a really calm day. As the waves go up, our speed comes down for the safety of passengers, safety of the vessel. Wind-wise, our operating limits are 50 knots.
Okay.
Constant wind.
Right. So what's that in terms of the Beaufort scale?
So there you're looking at force 9 into a force 10.
Wow, that's
which is-
pretty dire then. So gale force 8, you'll be out running.
Yeah, gale force 8, as long as the sea conditions are within limits.
Right.
Yes, the wind on its own is not a factor unless we get 50 knots, which is rare. We've hit it maybe a handful of times a year when we get the beast from the east. In
Yeah.
usual terms, it's wind and tide combined equals a very rough Solent.
Yeah.
And it's a very short bit, you know, it's only 3 miles across here out of a 10-mile journey. But this last little bit into Cowes especially, we're crossing the deep water route for here for Southampton. So we've got wind from the southwest usually, a big ebb tide from Portsmouth, all joining in the middle to create quite an uncomfortable crossing at times.
Yeah.
But we will weather route at times, we can go different directions, whether that's out to the west or out to the east, to mitigate that, to make it as comfortable for the passengers as we can. And when I say when it hits the 2 metres, that is unfortunately the operation ceased until the tide turns.
Yeah.
But these are limits imposed for passenger safety.
Yeah, of course.
The boats are unbelievably capable.
Yeah.
Even in a 2 metre seas, these boats handle like a dream.
Right.
But this is pure passenger safety.
It's probably more about comfort as well, I guess, to some extent.
Very
as well.
much so. You don't want to be
you
scaring
don't wanna
people.
No, you don't want to be peeling people off the ceiling either, do you?
No, as much as we can see what's coming, and we're used
Yeah.
to it, we've been trained to deal with bad weather and whatnot. Our passengers aren't. Our passengers are using this as a commuter service to get from A to B. They're not
Yeah.
wanting to be thrown about in the saloon. They want to get there nice and comfortably. So that is what we're aiming for.
Perfect. And I just noticed the brakes are going on. We're obviously approaching Cowes. Let's have a look. So you've got the revs are dropping here. Speed's coming down.
Spartina, speaking.
You can see the radar over here. You can see the shape of the harbour on there.
Could you see that yacht ahead of you turn into the approach?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where he's going.
That'd be appreciated.
Okay.
Yacht following the beach.
I'm not, of course, at the helm, but nonetheless, this suddenly feels like a very big boat in a very small area. I'm sure you get used to it, but yeah, this feels like a lot of ship to get into here and to spin round and to berth. I think we're going just over there, aren't we?
Yeah, that's the one with the flags flying.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Well, you can see it's basically there is where we're going.
Hi, West Coast, 7 coming in, thank you.
Just here you can actually see the jet position and power. So if you look at these lengthways ones, as the red goes up, that's more power going on as it comes down, and you can see the steering going on here now. So that's the joystick being operated to starboard to spin the boat that way. This is where we're going, just here. Look at the throttle levers now. You can see the port one is ahead and the starboard one is astern, so it's pushing the left hand side of the boat forward and the right hand side of the boat is coming back, and that is spinning us pretty much on the spot, right off of the dock that we're going onto. And then once we're right round and level with it, well, then we can, I say we, the skipper can power the boat sideways. Okay, so we're now directly level with the dock, and we are moving sideways. You can just see the thrust at the back there. Look at that, that is cunning, isn't it? That is just coming in completely sideways.
Stop quickly for the gangway.
And that's it, we're in and we're tied up. We've got passengers disembarking, we'll have other passengers embarking, and then we do the same thing in reverse, head back to Southampton. It is genuinely fascinating. Okay, so we have had passengers disembark, cabin clean, new passengers embark, and we're away again. 7 minutes. 7 minute turnaround, that's amazing. Okay, we're away. Let's go out here. And we can watch operations from the deck. So we're alongside. Let's come right back. There we go, you can see the thrust now. So that one's running forward, and that one, I think I'm right in saying, is running backward. And that is taking us sideways away from the dock. Look at that! That's some serious power going on there. All done with jets. You can actually see 2 separate jets coming out of here. So this one's running the other way. There's some serious power going on down there. Okay, both now running forwards. And we're rolling. It's 6 knots out of Cowes. Once you're clear of Cowes, power goes on. There is the Wight shipyard. You can see the Union Jack on the door. That is where this was made. So they build it there and it goes there once a year for full overhaul and so forth. That is efficient though, isn't it? 7 minutes in, passengers off, clean, passengers on, gone. Remarkable. We are on a grey Tuesday day, so not too many boats out today, but you can imagine on a weekend, on a bank holiday, on a hot summer day, this is Piccadilly Circus in here, and they've got to pick their way through that. Amazing. There's Cowes. That's the breakwater there. So once we're out of there, we're out of Cowes Harbour. Okay, so we are about to turn 5,000 horsepower into 6 knots up to 35 knots. Here we go. water going backwards, us going forwards. Thank you, Isaac Newton. Fantastic. Thank you very much. This is a Red Funnels car ferry going across the Isle of Wight. Does it somewhat slower than we do, but it does get to take vehicles with it, so you know, all the options are covered.
Usually it's 1500.
Yeah. We've got faster.
Yes, Jenny Blue 672.
Jenny Blue, thank you.
On 7.
Well, there we go. We are back in Southampton. That's fantastic. How long did that take?
1 hour, 1 minute since when we left.
That is incredible, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. John, you made it look very easy. Was it as easy as it looked?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, once you do it every day, it is quite comes on quite natural. So yeah.
It must get instinctive, I guess.
Yes, you too. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thank you so much. I've really appreciated the demonstration.
Pleasure.
That's great. Paul, thank you for your help.
Always a pleasure.
And that was really great getting your input as well. Yeah, thank you very much. Fabio, thank you so much for that.
Thanks so much. Yeah,
That
you're
is-
welcome. Yeah, nice to meet you.
And you. That's been
Okay.
brilliant. Thank
Take
you.
care then.
I'm going to say massive thanks to Red Funnel Ferries, who incidentally have given us a discount code for you guys. So if you have a look at the description, you should be able to find that. And if you want to ride on the Red Jet, you'll get a little bit of alcoholic discount. that's about it. Let me know what you think of that one. If you've not seen it, we've done a full tour of this ferry, and it's well worth seeing because it's absolutely fascinating. So I'll put a link to that in the description as well. And let me know what you think, and we'll look forward to catching you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye bye.